With Title 42 ending, is LA ready for a possible influx of migrants? Mayor Karen Bass answers that question. Survival story. We talked to one Southern California hospital's first COVID patient, his fight to stay alive after being told he only had a 1% chance to live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Rundown. I'm Robin Winston. The influx of migrants has begun with Title 42 ending. Border officials say there were more than 11,000 illegal crossings Wednesday alone. Processing centers are over capacity, and communities close to the border are seeing a spike of migrants at their shelters and facilities. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas says the end of Title 42 does not mean the border is open. He says those who enter the country illegally will face tougher consequences, including expulsion. Here in LA, Mayor Karen Bass says the city has begun preparing since December for the possible arrival of migrants.
It's very difficult to allocate money having no idea if it's going to be 50 people, 100, or a couple of thousand. But I did tell the Emergency Operations Center to prepare for 2,000 people.
Mayor Bass went on to say that the issue goes well beyond the city of LA. As Hollywood writers continue their strike, the Directors Guild has started new contract talks with the studios. The DGA says many of the same issues are on the table, including wages, streaming residuals, jurisdiction over foreign productions released here in the U.S., and safety on the set. We caught up with Writers Guild picketers Wednesday at Warner Brothers in Burbank. There are no talks scheduled. To avoid conflict with the strike, Vice President Kamala Harris has backed out of an MTV event in Carson next week. Comcast, the corporation that owns our parent company, NBC Universal, is one of the entertainment companies represented by the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers. Also, some employees of the NBC News Group are represented by the WGA. LAUSD teachers are getting a pay bump this year. The Board of Education gave final approval to a new labor agreement with the teachers union. The agreement includes a 21% wage hike. It'll be spread out over a couple of years. The first bump will be a 3% increase on July 1st, and then 3 to 4% increases every 6 months until 2025. It also includes an extra $20,000 increase for school nurses and $3,000 for psychologists, counselors, and other special services. It's time to get the rundown of your weather, and meteorologist Belen De Leon is tracking a beautiful Mother's Day weekend forecast.
Hi, everyone. If you're a fan of the hot weather, hey, I've got your forecast as we head into the weekend. A change in our weather pattern that's going to make it feel like summer. The temperatures will slowly warm as we head into the weekend. Above normal temperatures by 10 to 15 degrees. We're looking at highs rising into the 80s and 90s for Mother's Day weekend. And as that heat builds in, the marine layer will back off. It's going to become shallower in the coming days. Just an example of these hot temperatures in West Covina. 70s on Thursday, 80s on Friday, and check this out. Almost 90 degrees on Saturday, and the warmer than normal temperatures will continue through next week. The reason? High pressure is moving in. It's anchoring over the West Coast. Then early next week, we'll have some increasing moisture, a chance for some monsoon storms in the mountains. Until then, dry and hot. Stay cool and safe.
A Congressman, George Santos, has pleaded not guilty to a 13-count federal indictment. Charges include wire fraud, money laundering, theft, and making false statements. He was released on $500,000 bond. Speaking to reporters outside the courthouse, he called the charges a witch hunt.
I'm going to comply. I've been complying throughout this entire process. I have no desire not to comply at this point. They've been gracious in there. Now I'm going to have to go and fight to defend myself. The reality is
I'm sorry.
It's a witch hunt, because it makes no sense that in 4 months, 5 months, I'm indicted.
He's due in court again next month. If convicted, he could face up to 20 years in prison. Someone attacked an 85-year-old grandmother in West Covina. They hit her over the head and stole her purse. Ana Maria Beltran was attacked in the driveway of her home last Thursday. She's traumatized and has 5 stitches in her head. Her family believes the attacker may have followed her after she went to the bank. Her grandsons are angry and want the attacker caught.
Hit her from the back. So what kind of coward does that?
She's my grandma, so it hits home because it's personal to me, but this could be anybody's grandma.
Anna Maria says this is a silver SUV that pulled up into her driveway. West Covina police are investigating and hope someone will come forward with information about the attacker. A second chance to live. That's how Greg Garfield describes his life after surviving COVID-19. He was the first patient with coronavirus at St. Joseph Medical Center in Burbank. He spent months there. NBC4's Christian Cazares has his story.
I had so much love and support. I didn't want to fail for them, as well as myself.
An emotional time for Greg Garfield as he looks back to March 2020. That's when he was part of a 13-group ski trip in Italy where everyone got COVID-19.
I was scared. I was truly scared. We didn't know what this was.
Days after his return, the 57-year-old recalls calling 911 when his symptoms escalated and prevented him from breathing. He was rushed to St. Joseph Medical Center in Burbank, becoming their first COVID-19 patient.
There was a lot of people that wouldn't have conversations with me, doctors that wouldn't have conversations with me because they had a difference of opinion.
Garfield says with little information about his health, he did his best to remain calm.
When he called me to tell me that he was going to be intubated, I thought, okay, and he says, I'll be offline for a couple days. And I said, all right, you're going to be fine. And that was all I knew.
Garfield was in a coma for 31 days. When he woke up, he tells me the fight to stay alive continued for 33 more days, working side by side with doctors and nurses.
I had to rehab. I had to learn how to chew, swallow, eat.
Today, he's thankful for all the blessings in his life and even went back to thank the men and women at the hospital who saved his life during National Nurses Week after being told he only had a 1% chance to live.
What's definitely changed is my outlook on day-to-day life and not sweating the small stuff, truly, and what really is important.
Garfield tells me the majority of people don't know about people like him because they didn't survive the pandemic. The focus for him is all about educating others. Christian Cazares, NBC4 News.
The Lakers had a shot to eliminate the Warriors from the playoffs, but just couldn't get it done on the road. Well, now the series is coming back home. The Lakers were down by double digits going into halftime and just couldn't recover. Final score 121-106. Anthony Davis took a big hit to the side of his head late in the fourth quarter. He reportedly had to go back to the locker room in a wheelchair and was checked out for concussion. His status for Game 6 is still up in the air, but his teammates say he looked much better in the locker room. Game 6 is going down Friday night at the Crypt. It looks like Compton may end up keeping the community garden they've been fighting to save. Organizers say they should now be the highest bidders to keep the land. So earlier this week, organizers fell short of raising more than $500,000 to keep the owner from selling the land to developers. A social media page for the garden shared an update saying a handful of anonymous donors came forward and they are now countering with the higher bid. The garden has been a lifeline for the community with no supermarkets close by. If no deal is reached, the crops and vegetables will have to be uprooted and the garden will be rebuilt in a nearby location. Rapper and actor Ludacris will be honored next week with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He'll be getting that star in the category of motion pictures. Ludacris is best known for his role in the Fast and Furious franchise. Some of his other film credits include Crash and Hustle and Flow. Vin Diesel and LL Cool J will all be there for the star unveiling on May 18th. Congratulations, Ludacris. For the first time in 7 years, Beyonce is back on tour with new music of her own. The superstar singer returned to the stage Wednesday night in Stockholm, Sweden. The opening of Beyonce's Renaissance tour featured several spectacular sets and costumes in a style that fans are calling alien superstar chic. The first single off the new album, called Break My Soul, became her first solo #1 hit since Single Ladies way back in 2008. You should note Beyonce posted the video you're seeing now to Instagram without any sound, leaving fans upset. We want to hear what's going on, Beyonce. She's set to play SoFi Stadium in Inglewood 3 nights in September. And yes, I will see you there. I will be in the building too. I'm so excited. The Beatles' Here Comes the Sun is the latest single to surpass 1 billion streams on Spotify. There are 406 tracks on the list, which started with Drake's One Dance back in 2016. Not only is this the first Beatles song to crack it, it's also the first song from all of the 1960s. But it will be soon joined by 2 more. Spotify says Marvin Gaye's Ain't No Mountain High Enough and CCR's Fortunate Son will both reach 1 billion streams within the next few weeks. Starbucks is rolling out its summer menu. It features 2 brand new drinks as well as a snack item that's dividing people on the internet. First up, the new chocolate Java Mint Frappuccino. Ooh, that looks delicious. Starbucks says it's supposed to remind people of mint chocolate chip ice cream on a warm summer day. Next, a white chocolate macadamia cream cold brew, which is inspired by white chocolate macadamia nut cookies. However, a lot of people are a little confused about what the new cake pop is supposed to be. Take a look. This is the new Bumblebee Cake Pop. One of our producers saw it in the store and couldn't believe it either. People online said it looks a little like a tiger. Some said no, it kind of looks like a cat. But more importantly, one person asked, if it's a bumblebee, then why isn't it honey flavored? The things that make you go, so many questions. But my question is, does it taste good? I just have to go and see for myself, I guess. You can always get news and weather updates on the NBCLA app and our website, NBCLA.com. And be sure to tune into Today in LA on NBC4, weekdays 4 to 7 a.m. I'll be helping you get around with traffic reports throughout the morning. I'll see you next time on The Rundown.